chats today because you know it is the last day before the break. It's not Friday, right? Like usually cha-ching chats are on Friday. And I go, no, it's not Friday. She goes, right, but you can still do cha-ching chats. I mean, it's just the last day. So it was the last day before Thanksgiving. I said, you know, I probably could do cha-ching chats. And she goes, yeah, why don't you? So ladies and gentlemen, because it is the day before Thanksgiving, and because you have so much to be thankful for, and I have so much to be thankful for, and since I won't be here Friday to cash in on your, to accept your cha-ching chats, we are going to make this a very special pre-Thanksgiving Day cha-ching chat Wednesday. There we go. A little delayed reaction on that one. But if you would like to leave a cha-ching chat anytime during the show today, we will drop everything and we will read whatever your cha-ching chat message is. It could be a cha-ching chat on Rumble in the form of a Rumble rant. It could be a cha-ching chat on YouTube, which is very easy. All you have to do is send a YouTube super chat. Minimum donation of $5. By the way, if you want your message read on the air, minimum donation of $5. Or I'm sorry, it's not a donation. You're getting, we're not a charity. We're not looking for handouts. You get something in return. You supply us with cha-ching chats and I will market your message for you, whatever it is, because we have a lot of people. There's a lot of people that watch this show live. There's a lot of people that listen to it live. There's a lot more though that, will hear your message later on in the form of a podcast. We have hundreds of thousands of people that go to our YouTube channel and our Rumble channel and all the other channels combined every single day and watch these videos over and over again. So your message, and it'll live forever. It's like it's baked in, man, as they go. That's an industry term, baked in. So send us a cha-ching chat and we will share your message with the world. It's a mere $5. I mean, you can leave more. You can leave like 100. I don't even know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what I know there's a limit to the cha-ching chat. I know on YouTube, I think it's $500, but I'm not even sure. I'm not even really sure about that. I think that's the limit on YouTube. Somebody test it. I'm just kidding. Somebody test it and find out what the limit is for cha-ching chats on YouTube. And I think on Rumble, I think there's a limit too on Rumble. It looks like on Rumble, the maximum you can do is, you can do 500. But you know what? Check me on that too. Check my math. Anyway, listen, we got a lot going on today. First of all, we got some breaking news, man. Breaking news. And you know what? I've decided I'm going to start using my Facebook page for the breaking news because that's where I post all the breaking news first. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. President Donald Trump will face 0 charges in Georgia. All of the charges against President Donald Trump in Georgia have been dropped. I'm going to be honest with you. I 1000% forgot that these charges were still lingering out there. I totally forgot that they were still around. I know that President Donald Trump was charged by Fani Willis and her corrupt boyfriend. I know that he had to go to Georgia and they had to drive in. He had this whole big entourage, all these SUVs. They pulled in. President Donald Trump hopped out of the car. He went in. He spent about 15 minutes getting booked, getting processed. They fingerprinted him, which was ridiculous and totally embarrassing. They took this mugshot, which still to this day is probably the most famous mugshot. I know Hugh Grant's mugshot was very popular and famous for a while. There was that hot girl, remember the hot girl mugshot that she started getting? That was very popular too. But then Donald Trump still probably the most popular mugshot of them all. And yes, Jeffrey Epstein, I guess, as well. But this mugshot that Fani Willis made Donald Trump come in and take, in the end, totally backfired on the Democrat Party, much like everything they do. Every single time they try to destroy President Donald Trump or the Republicans, every single time they try to do something that they think is going to be the end-all, be-all of Donald Trump's political career, it backfires on them. Like a 1976 Chevy Nova with the wrong gasoline in the tank. Poof, poof, poof. It just blows up in their face. And this did too, because this mugshot, as all mugshots are, is public record. And as soon as President Donald Trump walked out of that police station, got back in his SUV and rode back to glory, this mugshot went viral. President Donald Trump had it on t-shirts. He had it on mugs. He had it on flags. He had it on everything, stickers. It went out in emails and fundraising text messages. This mugshot made President Donald Trump tens of millions of dollars. And that is something that he used again in his campaign coffers so that he could beat Kamala Harris. Although let's be honest, it probably like a couple bucks Probably a couple bucks and a tube of toothpaste could have beat Kamala Harris. I don't even know if that's a saying, but I think I just made it up. Couple bucks and a tube of toothpaste, and you could have beat Kamala Harris. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But that's basically what happened. And now these charges for election interference, all the things that they said he did in DeKalb County and everything else, all the other perpetrators too, supposedly that Donald Trump was charged with. All the charges have been dropped. In fact, where is it? Where's the New York Times? There was a New York Times article I just read. Anyway, we'll get to it. We'll pull that up here in just a minute. Charges dropped. I had a lot of tabs open before the show, and then I guess I closed some of them. But here we go. We'll go to US. We'll do this. This is even better. We'll go to New York Post because we like them better. Georgia drops 2020 election case against Trump allies after new prosecutor declines to pursue. A Georgia judge dismissed the 2020 election interference case against President Donald Trump and more than a dozen of his allies and supporters Wednesday after the case's new prosecutor moved for all charges to be dropped, saying pursuing the matter would be unproductive. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee threw out the case less than an hour after Peter Skandalakis, who appointed himself as prosecutor after he failed to find anyone else willing to take the job. Look at that. Think about that. How great is that? That Fannie Willis is out. He's trying to find somebody to take the job. Nobody wants it. And he goes, son of a gun. All right, I guess I'll do it. Myself. He filed a motion to dismiss the case against Trump and 14 other co-defendants. This case is hereby dismissed in its entirety, McAfee wrote in a one-paragraph ruling. So President Donald Trump is off the hook in Georgia. Should anything happen after he gets out of office? But that's the big breaking news. That happened just moments before we prepared the show today to air. So you're getting that here first, which is great, which is another great reason to subscribe to the show because you get all the news first. And even if we're not live and you subscribe, you're going to get the YouTube videos and you're going to get the Instagram posts and you're going to get all that stuff. So wherever you're watching right now, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure that if there's a notification bell, set the notification bell too, because you want to make sure that you get all updates as they happen in real time. Oh, look at that. We got a Cha-Ching Chat already. This is great. Thank you, Dee, for the great idea of Cha-Ching Chat Wednesday. Mr. Shen Builder. I'm sorry, Mrs. Han Builder sent us a $10, looks like. Is that? Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to the best turkey. All right, I'll take that. Wait, I can't read it. Hold on, I gotta increase my screen size. There you go. Podcast genius in the business. Megan Hahn, aka Mrs. Hahn Builder. Megan, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That is very sweet of you. And I'll take it. Like I said, we read anything. So whatever if you want to make a turkey joke about me, I can take it, man. You want to call me a big fat slob? Like Donald Trump did to what's his name? JB Pritzker yesterday. That was that's still my favorite. I played that again a lot this morning during the
a big fat slob.
Yeah, during the 47 Daily Podcast, because it's still just my favorite thing in the entire world. Oh, and if you would like to call me a big fat slob and attach a $20 bill to it, I'm all about it. $5 we got from. Looks like we're waiting for the. Well, I'll just read it. From Amy Brazil 7. Mark K, do you still have your Patriot Outpost so I can send you something? Amy Brazil, we do in fact have the Patriot Outpost still. You can send me whatever you want. The address is on our website. You know what? In fact, it's on the Mark K for Congress website. The Mark K for Congress office is located at the Patriot Outpost. So just go to markkforcongress.com and you can find all the information about that. And thank you so much for the very generous Cha-Ching Chat. Now, President Donald Trump also did something. There's a lot of stuff going on today, which is kind of really interesting. There's a lot of fake news. There's a lot of fake news. But one of the things that President Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social today, and again, I don't know if it's just stream of consciousness. I don't know if he's trying to create an improved Republican Party, whatever. But he posted this on Truth Social. He wrote, there is a new word for a Trump Republican, which is almost everyone. Great policy is the key. It is to publican, ? Or T-publican, question mark. And he posted that. And I don't know if he was looking for suggestions, if he was looking for people to comment. I mean, I guess people are always going to comment. I would have thought the easiest thing to do would have just been, like take off the R and the E and make it a Trumpublican, right? Like Trumpublican, Trumpublican. In fact, that was my suggestion. I said I would have gone with Trumpublican instead of Republican. But I guess I think I know where this is coming from. I think what happens is President Donald Trump more and more sees these people in the Republican Party that are disagreeing with him. People like, Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And instead of calling them Republicans, instead of saying, look, these Republicans are disagreeing with me, I don't like it, he's just taking all the people that do agree with him, which he believes is almost everyone, and he's just going to call them T-publicans or T-publicans. I still think Trumpublican just, you've got the Trump in there, and you've got the publican, Trumpublican. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but that's, he's got 3 more years. Fun fact, Patriots has been hanging on for a very long time. When we took my last name, K, and blended it together with the word patriot and created Patriot, well, I didn't know how long that was going to last, but here we are years later, and Patriots are growing by the number, growing by the day. We have Patriots in all 50 states. We have Patriots in every single American territory. We have Patriots peppered around Canada, not just the ones that I'm directly related to, but other ones. We've got Patriots in countries like Mexico, Italy, Germany, the UK. We had the number 1 podcast. Where was it? Where were we that we were number 1 forever? I couldn't even believe it. It was in Oceania or someplace. I don't know where it was. But we were the number 1 podcast in Oceania. It was amazing. Australia, we've got, in fact, if you want, you could, if you're listening live, well, you can just go ahead and comment wherever you are so that we can see that there are Patriots pretty much all over this gosh darn place, and they are loyal. And maybe if Donald Trump, adds his last name to Republican and makes it a Trumpublican, maybe he'll be able to, sell T-shirts and hats and that kind of stuff. As well. But this was really interesting when he posted that this morning, and a lot of people brought it up, and I think it rehashed some of the breaks in the party that Donald Trump has been fighting with. And most recently, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene. But again, Marjorie Taylor Greene extricating herself from the Republican Party did not have the effect that I think Marjorie Taylor Greene thought it was going to have. And the CNN poll, which again, we also I think I played this morning too. This CNN poll, I'm going to play it for you again too, because there should be no doubt that President Donald Trump is still the most powerful person in the world, and the most powerful person in America, and the most powerful person in American politics. And again, if you doubt me, maybe you'll believe CNN.
So is the president losing Republicans?
No. Look, this is still Donald Trump's Republican Party, and we can see it here. It's like a rock, to quote Bob Seger. I mean, take a look here. Republicans who approve of Trump. 6 months ago, it was 87%. Now, well, hello, it's the same number. It's 87%. He has not lost any support among Republicans compared to 6 months ago. As I said at the beginning, he's like a rock. He's like a rock. The Republican base is sticking by Donald Trump at this point in
time. It really is
in time, yeah. So look, I mean, look at that. Here it is. Let me pull that back up again so you can actually. Let me pull that back up again so you can see it. 87% of Republicans are sticking with President Donald Trump. Maybe that's why he's changing the name of the party to Trumpublican. Maybe he's like, well, if 87% of this party still believes in me, and if 87% of this party still supports me, well, then maybe it shouldn't be the Republican Party. Maybe it should be the Trumpublican Party. And it seems like, Harry Henton and CNN concur that Donald Trump still has all of the power in the Republican Party. And even though there are people that are pulling away, even though that they are naysayers, even though there are people that say, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, and nobody's going to agree with everything. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump does. People always say, Mark, you just might, and by people, I mean probably my wife. She goes, you just say everything Donald Trump does is fine. And I go, well, look, Donald Trump gets so much hate from everywhere. The president gets so much, everybody hates on President Donald Trump. Everybody tries to spin negatively things that President Donald Trump is doing. Everybody tries to just disparage the president, knock him down, make fun of him, call him names. And I think to myself, there's got to, I mean, I'm not going to add to that. There's enough negativity out there as it is. So I'm going to add to the positivity. And when I think of President Donald Trump, I think of all of the positive things that he's been doing, like boosting the economy, like deporting illegal aliens, boosting the military, putting in charge Pete Hegseth, seeing the military, enlistment just skyrocket. All these trade deals, all the tariffs that are coming in, the tariff revenue, the deregulation, which you may not even know it, but the deregulation has just been phenomenal. And Lee Zeldin at the EPA is spearheading all of that. And then, of course, there's the amazing speeches.
A big fat slob.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. It's another one of the reasons I won't. I'll support President Donald Trump because I know that Ronald Reagan was supposedly the great communicator, and he gave a great speech. He was an actor. He was president of the Screen Actors Guild before he became president of the United States of America. He was trained. Everyone remembers Bedtime for Bonzo. I mean, that was a great movie. So Ronald Reagan, yes, he was the great communicator. But if Reagan was the great communicator, President Donald Trump is, I don't even know what to call him, just like the best communicator, because I'll be honest with you, I really get a sense of what he's trying to say about J.B. Pritzker here.
A big fat slob.
Like that's a message that was well communicated to me. There's no question in your mind what Donald Trump is saying about J.B. Pritzker. That is very, very clearly a message that he wants to get through. And speaking of disparaging President Donald Trump lashed out at the New York Times. Oh, wait, before we get to President Donald Trump lashing out at the New York Times, look, we got a bunch of cha-ching chats coming in. Muri, M2R, dropped a cha-ching chat for $20. And wrote, "Happy Thanksgiving Hump Day, Patriots." Thank you so much, Muri. That is very, very sweet, and that is very generous, and we appreciate all your support, not just today, not just on Thanksgiving holidays, but all year long, and we appreciate you watching and listening to the show, because without you guys, without your support, without you watching, without you subscribing, without you sharing the show, without you sitting through the commercials, without you dropping your cha-ching chats, this show wouldn't be possible, and so I definitely appreciate all of that. We got one from Disney Up Boiler Up. $5. She's saying, "I've been saying it should be Retrumplican for years." Well, Retrumplican's a good one too. Disney Up Boiler Up. You were just ahead of the curve, aren't you? Thank you. And Brandy, thank you so much. And props to Brandy, because Brandy is on our mod squad. And if you ever see trolls just get zapped, if you see trolls get destroyed like they're the Iranian nuclear facilities, during Operation Midnight Hammer, it's because of Brandy and Dee and Julie, and we appreciate all of our mods. So thank you, ladies, so much. Much appreciated. And thank you so much for, in addition, the fantastic cha-ching chat, which we really appreciate as well. We got another one from Faith B9042. Faith B9042. Wait, is that a new one? Did you add it? Do you have a new account? That's a thing. A $10 super chat. "Happy Thanksgiving, Mark and fellow Patriots. Looking forward to the poker tournament." Faith B9042, and I'm so glad that you're coming to the poker tournament. It's going to be incredible. And keep in mind, along with the poker tournament, we also have the K's Kids 12 Days of Christmas, which kicks off on December the 4th, which is also going to be totally incredible this year. It's going to be amazing. The stories of these kids, gut-wrenching. It is, and they are just the most amazing people. And I tell you that every single year, but I'm really excited about it. And thank you for getting your ticket to the poker tournament. Hurry up, y'all. You only got a week left. After tomorrow, it'll be 1 week till poker time. And we don't want you to miss out. We don't want you to miss out at all. Oh, look at this. We got another one coming in from my VA lady, Dee Dockery, who's another one of our fantastic moderators. So props to Dee. "I know Mark blushes when he says this handle, so use T&B instead." Oh, she's pushing her obscene YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram channel for a fun bird page with a risque name. Apparently, oh yeah. Well, you can see it right there on the and D. Thank you so much, my VA lady, for all of your help throughout the year as well. We really do appreciate it. You can send your cha-ching chats anytime throughout the day, and we will, of course, read them. All right, back to President Donald Trump lashing out at the New York Times. Look at this. The New York Times wrote a story that I didn't think I would ever see anyone write, but it's happening. Shorter days, signs of fatigue. Trump faces reality of aging in office. I kid you not. I kid you not. President Trump has always used his stamina and energy as a political strength, but that image is getting harder for him to sustain. Now, as I read very little of this trashy article that the New York Times, and this is basically a hit piece. This is basically the New York Times, and they are saying, hey, you know what? They're saying, hey, you know what? We are going to try to do anything we can to disparage President Donald Trump. We're doing everything we can to try to destroy his image and make people think that he is not the kind of guy that he is. He does not have the energy. He's fading fast. He's going to be the next Joe Biden. So this article, it's written, by the way, by Katie Rogers and Dylan Friedman, and they both hate President Donald Trump and have for a long time, and the feeling is mutual. But here's what they wrote. The day before Halloween, President Trump landed at Joint Base Andrews after spending nearly a week in Japan and South Korea. He was then whisked to the White House, where he passed out candy to trick-or-treaters. Allies crowed over the president's stamina. This man has been nonstop for days, one wrote online. A week later, Mr. Trump appeared to doze off during an event in the Oval Office. So listen to how they start this. They start by touting Donald Trump's stamina. 36 hours he was awake. He went to Korea, pardon me. He went all over Asia. He met with Xi Jinping. He had high-profile, high-pressure meetings, which, by the way, I don't know what your meetings are like. My meetings are pretty okay. They're not super high-pressure. They're not super high-profile. But when they are, I get a little stressed and I get a little tired, and I know that I'm putting on a little bit more because every single word that I say matters. You know, this show is super fun, but sometimes it can be a little draining, especially after doing it for 5 days, not to mention appearing on Newsmax, not to mention putting out countless dozens of pieces of content on all of my platforms, not to mention public appearances and running for office. Donald Trump is doing 20 times what I'm doing, and he's twice my age almost. A week later, Mr. Trump appeared to doze off during an event in the Oval Office. So President Donald Trump works for a week straight, traveling the globe, talking to reporters, staying up for 36 hours at a time. And then a week later, he appears, notice they didn't say does, they said appears to doze off in the Oval Office. With headline-grabbing posts on social media, combative interactions with reporters, and speeches full of partisan red meat. Mr. Trump, again, this is a microaggression. I don't know if you guys know this. During the campaign, the appropriate term of President Trump was purposely rejected by the media as a show of disrespect. President Donald Trump was the president. As is true with all presidents, after they leave office, they retain that moniker, as do vice presidents, as do secretaries, as do congresspeople and senators, as Supreme Court justices. Once you retire from the government, you continue to retain your title, especially president. President Bush is still President Bush. President Obama is still President Obama. President Otto Penn is still President Otto Penn. That's the way it is. Dick Cheney was Vice President Cheney up until the day that he died. And Kamala Harris will be Vice President Kamala Harris, never president, by the way, Kamala Harris, until she kicks it. But they do this on purpose. They write Mr. Trump instead of President Trump. I just did an aside there, a little side note. Can project round-the-clock energy, virality, and physical stamina. Now at the end of his 8th decade, Mr. Trump and the people around him still talk about him as if he is the Energizer Bunny of presidential politics, which he is. The reality is more complicated. Mr. Trump, there it is again, 79, is the oldest person to be elected to the presidency, and he is aging. To preempt any criticism about his age, he often compares himself to President Joseph R. Biden Jr. So I'd like to show you exactly what the New York Times has done. These two morons have written Mr. Trump about the current president and President Biden about the former. So instead of President Trump and Mr. Biden, it's Mr. Trump and President Biden, all done on purpose, all in a way to show their disrespect. Once this happens in an article, by the way, once you see this anywhere, if somebody on television, and Jake Tapper is notorious for doing it, if anybody in the news media, if anybody article you read or blog post or tweeter or Twitter or twatter or whatever it is, twatter? That's probably not a thing. Is it a twatter? That's one of them. That's one of them pornographic social media. Social twatter. That's what. Oh my God! Don't go on that website. Don't go to twatter.com. You're gonna regret it. What even was I saying? Oh yeah. If you anybody at all, if they use the term Mr. Trump when talking about the president, you know that you cannot trust them. You know that they're fake news. You know that they're propagandizing. They are not reporting anything of value. They're not reporting anything at all. They are simply just pushing an agenda, and that is the left-wing agenda that President Donald Trump is an illegitimate president and does not deserve the respect that somebody like President Joseph R. Biden Jr. did. And by the way, they use his entire name. Like they even went so far as to use his entire name, President Joseph R. Biden Jr. So weird. Anyway, who at 82 was the oldest person to hold the office and whose aides took measures to shield his growing frailty from the public, including by tightly managing his appearances. Mr. Trump, there it is for a third time, has hung a photo of an auto pen in a space where Mr. Biden's portrait, oh, now they've switched to Biden, would otherwise be, and disparages his predecessor's physicality often. He sleeps all the time. During the day, during the night, on the beach, Mr. Trump said about Mr. Biden last week, adding, "I'm not a sleeper." Mr. Trump remains almost omnipresent in American life. He appears before the news media and takes questions far more often than Mr. Biden did. Foreign leaders, chief executives, donors, and others have regular access to Mr. Trump and see him in action. So what's the problem? Okay? I'm wondering, listen to this one more time. Mr. Trump, who is approaching the end of approaching his 8th decade, Mr. Trump remains almost omnipresent in American life, appears before the news media and takes questions far more often than Mr. Biden did. Foreign leaders, chief executives, donors, and others have regular access to Mr. Trump and see him in action. So what exactly is it that they're saying there's realities of aging in office? So far, they haven't pointed out a single one. They've actually just bolstered the claim that President Donald Trump is the Energizer Bunny of American politics. Still, nearly a year into his second term, Americans see Mr. Trump less than they used to. According to a New York Times analysis of his schedule, Mr. Trump has fewer public events on his schedule and is traveling domestically much less than he did by this point during his first year in office in 2017. Although he is taking more foreign trips. This is such a hatchet job. I don't know if you've ever flown anywhere internationally. I've flown a lot. I go to DC a lot. We've been to Boston a couple times this year. We took my son to college. And then we went to Paris, France. That was my only international trip this year. But I will tell you this. Flying internationally is much more draining than flying domestically. I would argue that one international trip is the equivalent of 4 domestic trips. And the toll that it takes on your body, the toll that it takes on your mentality, the toll that it takes on your fatigue, all that kind of stuff. And here's the New York Times saying, well, he's not getting around domestically a lot. But you know what? He's gone to the Middle East. He's gone to Asia. He's gone to Canada. He's gone to Europe. He went to England. I mean, in 1 year, think about that. A trip across Asia, not just one country, but multiple. A trip in the Middle East, not just one country, but multiple countries in the Middle East. He took a trip to Canada, which I'm going to be honest with you, that would drain me. That's the most boring thing you could possibly do. He went to the UK because he was being hosted again, a state dinner by the King of England. Also, in all of these instances, there are gatherings with other leaders. There's a lot of meetings. There's a lot of dressing up in tuxedos. It's not the most comfortable environment. You're shaking a lot of hands. You're doing press conferences galore, like constant, nonstop press conferences. And the New York Times has the audacity to say, oh, he's traveling less. He doesn't go to Iowa anymore. Well, guess what? The election's over. And he ain't running again. The election is over. He's not running for anything anymore. He's going to take less domestic trips. Why? Because he doesn't have to. He's got a staff to do that. He can send J.D. Vance out to talk at a factory. He can send, Pete Hegseth out to go talk at a military base. He's got tons of people domestically who can handle it. But when it comes to talking to Xi Jinping, the president of China, or the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, or going to get $1 trillion from Qatar, or going to meet the king of England, when it comes to those kinds of things, there's only one person that can do it, and it's President Donald Trump. And that's at least 4. There's probably more that I'm even forgetting, trips that he's taken abroad this year. And this stupid newspaper, they're trying to make it a thing. Should I even read more? He also keeps a shorter public schedule than he used to. Most of his public appearances fall between noon and 5 p.m. on average. And when he is in public, occasionally, his battery shows signs of wear. During an Oval Office event that began around noon on November 6th, Mr. Trump sat behind his desk for about 20 minutes as executives standing around him talked about weight loss drugs. At one point, Mr. Trump's eyelids drooped until his eyes were almost closed, and he appeared to doze on and off for several seconds. At another point, he opened his eyes and looked toward a line of journalists watching him. He stood up only after a guest who was standing near him fainted and collapsed. So Donald Trump's in the Oval Office. He's sitting at his desk. He's listening to all of these people talk about drugs, and somebody collapses, faints. A man younger than him couldn't even stand through this thing, collapsed on the floor, and Donald Trump got up. And who's old? Who can't handle it? The guy that collapsed? No, President Donald Trump. Then they go on and on about later starts, fewer events. They go on and on about his MRI. They show all these pictures of him. It's really kind of weird. Anyway, you can imagine Donald Trump wasn't happy about it. So he took to Truth Social and he wrote, "The creeps at the failing New York Times are at it again. I won the 2024 presidential election in a landslide, winning all 7 swing states, the popular vote, and the Electoral College by a lot. I won our nation's districts by 2750 to 550, a complete wipeout. I settled 8 wars, have 48 new stock market highs. Our economy is great and our country is respected again all over the world, respected like never before. The last administration had the highest inflation in history. I have already brought that down to normal, and prices, including groceries, are coming down. To do this requires a lot of work and energy, and I have never worked so hard in my life. Yet despite all of this, the radical left lunatics in the soon-to-fold New York Times did a hit piece on me that I am perhaps losing my energy, despite facts that show the exact opposite. They know this is wrong, as is almost everything they write about me, including election results. All purposely negative. This cheap rag is truly an enemy of the people. The writer of the story, Katie Rogers, who is assigned to write only bad things about me, is a third-rate reporter who is ugly, both inside and out. Despite all of this, I have my highest poll numbers ever, and with record-setting investment being made in America, they should only go up. There will be a day when I run low on energy. It happens to everyone. But with a perfect physical exam and a comprehensive cognitive test just recently taken, it certainly is not now. God bless America and make America great again. President Donald Trump, clearly tons of energy when it comes to posting on Truth Social about the New York Times. And they're not the only fake news out there that's still attacking President Donald Trump. Whoa, we got some... Hold on. Hold that thought while we share this super chat from Beth6795, who dropped a 10 spot with absolutely no message. Just wanted to throw some cash our way. And Beth6795, we really appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you supporting the show. And thank you very much for that super chat. That is very, very special. That is very, very special. Indeed, we got another one from Christiane Haggerty, 9023. Christiane dropped a $5 super chat and said, "Happy Thanksgiving." Christiane, thank you, and a happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And thanks for all the fun and support again from you throughout the year. We love seeing the same names over and over again. I love that people are coming back over and over and sharing all of these well wishes and camaraderie and everything else, because that is really, really That is really, really fantastic. We got a bunch of these. Hold on. Oh, Rumble's on fire too. This is from Tulsa PETA, dropping a $5 Rumble rant and writing, "Happy Thanksgiving, praying for America and our president, Donald J. Trump. Come on, you know the deal." That's right, Tulsa PETA. We definitely do know the deal. We know it all too well. We got another one from our buddy Dean Himes, the Colorado crooner. "Happy Thanksgiving to Mark and all Patriots. I'm in Pennsylvania. Oh, good. To spend Thanksgiving week with my friends and family. Lots to be thankful for, including 3 more years to ride the Trump train." By the way, Dean, I don't know if you know this, but in Pennsylvania now, there's no more hair. There's no more hair restrictions, or what do you call it? Well, they're hair tolerant now. Is what, when there used to be like the hair discrimination. Not anymore, thanks to the government. We'll get to all that here in just a minute. We got a $20. Look at this. We got a $20 cha-ching chat coming in from Ale Mill, who writes something. Wishing everyone a blessed Thanksgiving. Or blessed. Is it blessed or blessed? It's one or the other. Whatever. Either if you're blessed or blessed, hopefully you're both of those. Thank you. Oh, it's Allie Mill. Allie Mill dropped that $20 Rumble rant. That is very sweet. We really do appreciate it. Keeps coming. Definitely not Karen. Dropped a 10 spot and wrote gobble gobble gobble. It's just I like that. I like a little gobble gobble. I like a little gobble gobble. There's one more here, real quick. This is great. Wow, look at this. All right, we're gonna tired of this stuff. Dropped a $5 and said thanks for moving Cha-Ching Chat to today. Love hearing the Cha-Chinger and bonding with all. Happy Thanksgiving from Nevada. Tired of this stuff. And yes, it's Nevada. I know that. I know that for a fact because, well, when you enjoy Las Vegas as much as I do, they tell you how to. You need to know how to pronounce it. Is all I'm saying. And it is the state of. It is the state of Nevada. All right, there's more fake news, like I was saying. It's not just the New York Times piece on Donald Trump, being tired and slowing down. There was a story that Caroline Levitt mentioned. In fact, this story came out and I read it and I thought to myself, that's ridiculous. In fact, let me tell you what's going on. Donald Trump's first year is coming to an end. January 20th will be his first year in the books. I mean, his first year of his second term. It'll be his 5th year as president. But his first year of his second term in the books. And typically what happens after the first year is you reassess, right? You look at the cabinet, you look at the administration, and you see who's working, who's not working, where you may want to make a change, that kind of thing. And so the fake news media, without any corroboration or proof, have just started throwing names out there. They started throwing names out there. One of the names I've heard thrown out is Chris Wright, the energy secretary. Now, I don't know why Chris Wright, the energy secretary, is supposedly, according to the fake news, going to be replaced because I feel like he's been doing a bang-up job. He seems like the best guy for the job. He hasn't ruffled any feathers that I know of. I mean, I would like to see a little bit more nuclear energy, but I know that that's on the docket. And I think that we've had a lot of great production when it comes to energy. And if you look at our gas prices, I mean, man, they've never been better. So I don't know about that one. I've heard also that Kristi Noem, which just came right out of left field. I think people are just jealous of her. Kristi Noem may be up for replacement because of, I don't know why. She shot a puppy. Who knows? She's getting rid of every illegal alien in the country and doing a really good job at it. Tom Homan as well. I've heard Susie Wiles, chief of staff. I've heard a lot of people don't like some of the blunders. I don't know what blunders they're talking about. They say that, the Marjorie Taylor Greene mess, a couple of other things, who knows? But they say that it is Susie Wiles' fault. And Susie Wiles, the Ice Maiden, who is the Donald Trump's chief of staff, and who seems, like I said, to be really running the White House with an iron fist, that, again, pure conjecture by the fake news media that President Donald Trump would be unhappy with Susie Wiles to the point that he would replace her. And then there's this dude, Kash Patel. And Kash Patel recently has had some stories written about him and his use of FBI assets, for example, safety protocols and security for his girlfriend or wife or whatever it is, using a private jet for personal purposes, a private FBI jet for personal purposes. Again, all these things I'm not really sure about, the logistics of them. It feels to me like it's all just a smear campaign. against Kash Patel. And this story was written that President Donald Trump is upset with Kash Patel and is looking to replace him with somebody else. Dan Bongino was also mentioned in the story, and it appears that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, because of some of their activities, because of some of the things they post on X a lot, and Donald Trump apparently and Pam Bondi don't like when they post on X, which I don't believe. I knew it was a lie when I read that. When I read Donald Trump is furious that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino post on X, I thought to myself, there's no way that's true, because Donald Trump posts on social media more than anyone else. He doesn't care. He wants everybody else to know how the wins that are coming. He wants everybody else to know how successful his administration is. He wants everyone to know that the FBI is working. Pam Bondi, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so Caroline Leavitt posted this photo and she wrote, "This story is completely made up. In fact, when this fake news published, I was in the Oval Office where President Trump was meeting with his law enforcement team, including FBI Director Kash Patel. I read the headline to the president and he laughed. He said, 'What? That's totally false. Come on, Kash. Let's take a picture to show them you're doing a great job. Do not believe the fake news.'" And then they stood in front of the Declaration of Independence, not the real one, but, the framed one. And they took this picture and Caroline Leavitt posted it, and it shows Donald Trump and Kash Patel apparently loving life, being buds, both their thumbs up, smiling ear to ear. So that's Caroline Leavitt saying this is all. You can't believe anything. You can't believe anything. In fact, my wife walked in here right before the show and she goes, "Did you hear that one of Caroline Leavitt's family members was busted by ICE?" And I said, "That's not true." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "It wasn't one of her family members. It was like her brother's baby mama. Her brother's baby mama, I don't think they were ever married, got picked up by ICE because apparently she's here illegally. And they're trying to link it back to one of Caroline Leavitt's family members." I mean, I guess in a vague, loose kind of way, they are related somehow by blood, but not really. But clearly calling them a family member is a stretch, but that's what the fake news does. They do it constantly. They do it every single day, and you cannot believe it. And look, and it's never going to stop. It's not going to calm down. They're never going to stop. There are trusted news sources out there. I'm a big fan of Newsmax, not just because they keep putting me on every day, but because they're a good place to go and get your information. CNN with their polling seems to be, I don't know what it is with CNN, but they seem to be more pro-Trump than ever before. Maybe they're afraid of losing their license or their credibility or their listeners or all three. But Stephen Miller was on Fox News yesterday, and he parroted this idea that President Donald Trump has been more effective and more energized and harder working than any president we've ever had this early on in their second term or in any term, and that we all this Thanksgiving should be thankful, as he is, for President Trump.
So when you ask me what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving, I praise God every day that Donald Trump is our president, and we've gone from 30% inflation, 20 million illegals, unlimited refugees, violent crime in our cities, to security in our cities, no more illegals, no more refugees, and finally a country that puts American citizens first.
I mean, that seems pretty cool. I'm all about that. I think that's great. I love that. I'm thankful for all that too, as a matter of fact. I'm thankful for all that too. Whatever he just said, I double that, or I second that. Because all of those things are something that we should all be thankful for this holiday season. Now, one of the interesting things, or one of the fun things that I put on my Facebook page, and if you don't follow me on Facebook, you should, because we have a lot of fun on Facebook. I used to just post videos, and now I post a lot more than I post a lot of stuff. In fact, some people go, "Man, you post a lot. Could you calm down a little bit?" And the answer is no. I'm not going to. I enjoy it, and it's good show prep. One of the things I did was I posted earlier this question. Other than the president, because I knew that would be the number one answer, other than the president, name a politician you are thankful for. And so far, we have over 600 comments. In like 2 hours, I got like over 600 comments. And before I read those comments to you, I should point out that we have another cha-ching chat that just came in. This is a doozy. It's from Jennifer Artiga. Jennifer Artiga sent us a $25 cha-ching chat to celebrate Thanksgiving. And there's no message attached, just Jennifer saying, "Keep up the good work." Jennifer, thank you so much. if every Patriot in the entire world dropped a $25 cha-ching chat right now, I wouldn't have to work again until next year. But no, I would be able to work again. I would be able to work even more. We could do 2 shows a day. Think about that. If you want a second hour of Mark Kaye, and which a lot of people do, they go, man, I missed the 3-hour show. Okay, how about some more cha-ching chat? You know what? If everybody, how many people we got here? 426 on YouTube. We've got 554 on Rumble. We're going to have thousands more listening to the podcast. If everybody listening right now drops a $25 cha-ching chat, you could have 6 hours a day of Mark Kaye. I'll be all about that. No problem. But anyway, Jennifer, thank you so much. That is very, very generous. We really do appreciate it. And look at Margaret Olson following up, $20 cha-ching chat. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for God, our Father, Jesus Christ, his son, our country, and President Donald Trump. Thank you so much, Margaret Olson. We appreciate that. Look, we got another one coming in off of Rumble. This one is, hold on, I got to pull it up. I got to pull it up on my phone here because that's how these roll. Where did we drop off? Oh, we got 2 more on Rumble. $10 from, hold on, 1962 William C. Wishing everyone a safe and happy Thanksgiving from Becky and Bill in Jacksonville. Becky and Bill in Jacksonville. And then we got another tenor from the only mostly dead voter, long time no talk, on Rumble, a cha-ching chat for $10. And it says, what does it say? I miss the games. I miss the games. Also the conspiracy theories, but I guess they all came true. So what would be the point? I made a silly 17-minute promo for Ho Ho Hold'em. Oh, wow. A silly 17 minutes. Ho ho, holy cow. That is really long. Let me take a look here and see.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Oh my God, that is really. All right, we'll play that. We'll play some. I don't know that we're going to play all. Wait, that looks like 17 seconds. Okay, if it's 17 seconds, I can play it. I can play it now. If it's 17 minutes, yeah, okay. We'll play this. This is great. Let's take a look at this promo quickly, and then I'm going to get to some of your answers on some of those questions. By the way, if you really miss the games, and if you really miss the conspiracy theories, I'll tell you what. All you have to do is keep throwing the money and I'll figure out a way to, well, you know what I'll do? I will build. If everybody right now gives me a $20 or $25 cha-ching chat, I will build a studio that looks like the Jeopardy set and I will invite you in to sit in front of me. I'll get one of those long microphones like Bob Barker used to have and we'll play all the games that you guys want. Anyway, let me take a look at this. This is from the only mostly dead voter. This is a K's Kids promo. All right, I'm game. Let's see what happens.
This is the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Oh, I get it.
There'll be no Scrooges this holiday season. Help K's Kids enjoy the Ho Ho Hold'em tournament with Mark Kaye. You don't want a visit from me, do you? This is
That's amazing. Wow, that is truly incredible. I want to watch that. Hold on, I'm going to watch that like 5 more times. Hold on. This looks like, and it's great because it looks like Halloween, but it's the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
This is the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Yeah.
There'll be no Scrooges this holiday season. Help K's Kids enjoy the Ho Ho Hold'em tournament with Mark Kaye.
And you can hear the mechanics?
You don't want a visit from me, do you?
I love that. Oh, that is amazing. The only mostly dead voter. First of all, we got a cha-ching chat for $10, that's really fantastic. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get back to some of these comments, shall we? Keep those cha-ching chats coming, by the way. I'll keep going, man. I'm supposed to make a pumpkin pie here in just a minute, but forget that. I can do that later tonight. Here we go. The question was, once again, other than the president, name a politician you are thankful for. I did notice some trends, and I'm going to go through a lot of these comments. Senator Kennedy makes me laugh. I like that. Marco Rubio is pretty entertaining there too. Sorry I bashed him so much in the past. That's from Janine Marie, interesting choice. Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana is very entertaining. He is very conservative. And I do like the fact that he does stand up for conservative values. And he has many times this year taken to the floor to argue in favor of things that are good and against things that are bad. He has been one of the biggest proponents of opening up the government, of course. He's been a proponent of, blocking all kinds of congressional stock trading. He's been at odds with Rand Paul over and over again about all kinds of things. Remember, he introduced the act where there would be no pay for any congressperson, Senate or House of Representatives, if the government were shut down. And of course, he always does it in a fun and entertaining way. Marco Rubio, we all bashed Marco Rubio in the past. Don't feel bad about that, but is he funny? I guess he did make that one Labor Day joke, which I thought was kind of funny. Senator Kennedy, there's another one. There's only two that I'm thankful for, says Dominique Gilroy, MTG and Massey. MTG and Massey. We got a lot of those, I think. The Guardian Angel, Curtis Sliwa. That guy had a year, didn't he? Thank God for Curtis Sliwa. Even though he did not stop Zoran Mamdani, he did some amazing things, and that guy loves New York City the way very few people love anything else in the world. Renee writes, he wasn't a politician, he was a saint, Charlie Kirk. That is true. And while he wasn't a politician, he was very actively involved in politics, but in a good way. And we will, of course, miss him. Molly Brandon mollified. I like Mike Johnson. Said no one ever. Sorry. He is quite the balancing act. Plus, I totally and equally adore Louisiana Senator, the very honorable John Kennedy. That's 2, by the way, for John Kennedy. Thomas Massey, that's 2 for Thomas Massey. That Liberty lady writes, that one guy that stands with his state, the Constitution, and ranks an A on the Liberty score, Congressman Thomas Massey. Frank Lipinski, J.D. Vance, Mark Ziegler, J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Sounds like a hell of a ticket in 28. Brandon Bowers, LOL, the 3 he hates most, Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, and MTG. Some other good ones are Ron DeSantis, first mention of him on the list, John Kennedy, very popular this year, Tulsi Gabbard, and Ron Johnson. Also can't forget about the legendary RFK Jr., but the GOAT is Ron Paul, y'all, which is... I always forget his entire cabinet, J.D. Vance, and Senator Fetterman. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to say a prayer for John Fetterman this year, too. I'm really going to say a prayer. Not only did he get a rough shot in life with his stroke, but now he's getting a rough shot from the Democrat Party. But it is his own fault. He did throw in with those scoundrels. But I am thankful for John Fetterman and the things that he's done. The way he voted all year throughout the shutdown, I think was very impressive and admirable. Charles Hawkins, whichever politician would stop digital ID from coming to the United States, ain't that the truth? Senator Kennedy, says Melissa Hendrickson, and Byron D., RFK Jr., Massey, DeSantis, MTG, and Jordan. Let me pause right there because I want to bring up something else that I saw yesterday. And this is something, again, that I posted on my Facebook page, so you should probably follow me. Byron Donalds is under fire for a text chain, and there's a lot of these leaked text messages coming out. The leaked text message is like the new hotness. That's like, in the old days, everyone wanted a podcast. Now it's just leaked text messages. But the leaked text message is the new hotness. This is a leaked text string between between Corey Mills and somebody else. And Corey Mills, I guess it's one of his wives or women or whatever, because this was also November 19th, 2024. This was the time when Corey Mills allegedly was involved in inappropriate domestic squabbles with some of his female counterparts. And so what happened was he's texting somebody and he wrote, I went to MGM with Byron. Now, for those of you that don't know, that is a casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. And then she wrote, are you serious? LMAO, which stands for laughing my butt off. And then he wrote, yes, baby, which is just very cringe. And then he posted a photo of him and Byron Donalds in their quarter zips. Byron's doing the peace sign at the MGM Grand. 1:00 in the morning, by the way, is when this came through. That was also important to reference. And they're plastered, right? They're totally plastered. So, I mean, and again, I don't know that they're plastered, but everyone's saying they look like they're totally plastered. And having hung out with a lot of people who've been totally plastered in my life, I concur. They do look totally plastered, but they're also at the MGM Grand Casino and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And then he wrote, I have a shopping trip for you, and which got hearted. I don't know what that's all about. And she said, I'm assuming you guys are having a really good night if you're not home yet, or you're home and fell asleep. And he wrote, just got home, baby. So now, it's so weird. This reminds me of reading all of those Hunter Biden. We remember we used to do Texture Piece Theater with all of Hunter Biden. That was really great. The Texture Piece Theater was truly amazing. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So this is great to me because this is two Congress dudes from Florida. They're out in Las Vegas. They're having a blast at the MGM. They're gambling. They're carrying on. They're throwing back some drinks, and they're text. And also, I should point out, I don't know what's going on in the background, and I don't know what laws may have been broken, but he was checking in with this woman. But the bad news, and again, I don't know if they're trying to hang Byron out to dry and ruin his career because he's drunk and gambling in a casino with Corey Mills in the middle of the night, or if they're releasing these text messages because they think that'll help him shore up the young male voter. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if I see Byron Donalds, the next governor of Florida, potentially in a casino partying in Nevada at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a young dude, I'm thinking that's my guy. That guy's going to fight for me. That's the guy that I want representing me. That's the guy that I want making decisions about where I live. But again, this is just something that popped up. And I think probably the reason that they're trying to use it against Byron Donalds is because he's hanging out with Corey Mills. But again, back then, nobody knew, Corey Mills wasn't accused of anything at this point in time. Corey Mills wasn't being accused of these violations of the law and these, disreputable forms of behavior and all these allegations and whatnot. There weren't these background room deals to try to save him in Congress that really irked Anna Paulina Luna and a whole bunch of others, myself included. None of that. There was nothing going on at this point. But Byron Donalds is in a photo with Corey Mills, and so they're trying to make it something. And you're going to see a lot more of this. You're going to see a lot more of this. And this is, again, another reason, if you're ever a congressperson or a senator or whatever, like when I get elected, when I win my election, I'm not going to text message anybody anymore. There will be no text messaging from me to anyone. You can text message me if you want. It will go unanswered because I don't need any of these things popping up. Although, if I'm at the casino, I mean, they do look kind of, I'll be honest with you, Byron Donalds does look kind of cool there. I'm not supporting him in any way, shape, or form yet. I'm not making a choice in that election. I'm just saying, I would really enjoy being at a casino, especially the MGM. It's beautiful in Las Vegas, Nevada at 1 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't be drunk though, because I don't like to drink when I gamble. When I play poker, especially, I like to have a clear head. I never drink I drink very little now anyway, but I definitely would never drink. Would never drink in the casino if I'm trying to take someone else's money. Because typically the drunker you get, the more money you lose. Isn't that funny how that works? Yeah. Anyway, let me go back to the comments here. So wait a minute. We got a cha-ching chat. Holy smokes. We got some cha-ching chats coming in here. Hang on. Let me look at this right here. Wait a minute. This is breaking news. We may have just broken the record for the largest cha-ching chat ever. I think we just broke the record for the largest cha-ching chat ever. This is from Izzy's Man. It says, Happy Thanksgiving, Mark. Thank you for all you do. Ina, I'm not sure which one it is. And I don't know if you can see this, but it is a $300 cha-ching chat. That is very generous. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, Mark. Thank you for all you do. Ina. I'm not sure which one. Izzy Man, $300 cha-ching chat. Wow. I am so thankful that Dee Dockery reminded me to do Cha-Ching Chat Wednesday today. And Izzy, man, that breaks a record. That is definitely a record. Right now, the record for largest Cha-Ching Chat in history is Ina, whichever one it is. Izzy's Man with the 300. We're going to mark that on a board. And we'll see if anyone can beat it. But that is really, look at, we got another one coming in. This is amazing. It's nonstop today. Harley Quinzel with a $20 cha-ching chat. Dropping a, who's on the 20? Jackson? Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, Mark, to you and your family and to all the Catriot family. Love y'all. Stay safe, everyone. Harley Quinzel, to you as well. We really do appreciate your constant support. And I know it's constant because I read these names over and over, and I love seeing the same names every week. It means that you guys really are enjoying the show. You're investing in the show, not just with your time, but with your pocketbook. And they always say you vote with your pocketbook. So thank you so much for that. This is from Amy Brazil 7. And Amy Brazil 7 writes, Mark, do you still have a Catriot Outpost address? I'd like to send you a gift. And I do. And I will post that here. In fact, maybe one of the mods could post it in the chat so that we can get it out to everybody. Wow, this is amazing. It just doesn't stop. Jenny, you guys really want me to have my own game show studio, don't you? Jenny B, 2021. Happy Thanksgiving to all my fellow Catriots. Can't wait till you win in 2026, Mark. I can't either. It's going to be so much fun. And Jenny B, thank you so much. We do definitely appreciate it. That is very, very sweet of you. And look, man, we're getting there. We're getting there. This is going to be great. Well, this studio is going to be fantastic. Just a couple thousand more $20 cha-ching chats, and we are going to be rolling. We're going to be rolling in style. We'll get lights. We'll get and like I said, we'll put seating in there so that everybody can come. Everybody can come and join the fun. That should be really, like Regis and Kelly, or I get that. I'm dating myself. What's another good show where there's a live studio audience? The Five. Maybe we'll do it like that. Not The Five. Gutfeld. That's what we'll do. We'll do a little studio. This will be fun. We'll really put North Florida on the map. There's a space down the road I can rent. We can make it up like a big, beautiful podcast studio, but like a real studio with, like I said, seating, and we'll have people, you can come in and we'll get you a ticket free of charge. You can come in, you can sit down. And then when we start the show, I'll come out, you can applaud or not, or boo, whatever you want to do. I don't care. And then I'll have like a desk and a microphone. We'll have guests come in. We can play games again. I think this is a great idea. I think this is keep throwing cash because every dime, like I say, notice I'm not talking about like some people are like, oh, I got to pay for my Lambo. I haven't had a new car in like years. That's not my goal. My goal is to reinvest in this show to make it better and more entertaining and more exciting and more just thrilling for you to watch every single day, because I think it's important that we keep these messages coming forward. And I think it's important that we keep all of this stuff forefront and that we all stick together. We all have a place to go every single day. Dale Beeson, back, by the way, to other than the president, name a politician you are thankful for. Dale Beeson writes Anna Paulina Luna and Tim Burchett. Two great ones. Two really, really great ones. And Tim Burchett, again, I have to say, is just the real deal. That is a guy who went to Congress for the real reason. That is a guy who went to Congress to break through the corruption. It's a guy who went to Congress to blow the lid off of all the bad things happening in the United States House of Representatives. He's kind of my inspiration. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm inspired by people like Tim Burchett. And when I look at my own congressman, John Rutherford, who's now, by the way, missed like 2 weeks worth of voting. And I know why, but it just goes to show. People are going to write to me and go, you know why he missed voting? I know why he's missing the votes. But the votes are still happening without him, which means it's probably time for somebody who can actually be there, take care of what you need to take care of. But we still need representation. And maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that it's time for somebody else who doesn't necessarily have the personal obligations to go to Washington, D.C. and step in. And again, that's what I'm saying. We've just gone without representation for like 2 weeks now. The vote on socialism, the vote on Stacey Plaskett, all of them, no vote from the representative in the 5th District of Florida. And that could be a sign that maybe your responsibility, your attention lies elsewhere, which is fine. Let's move on, though, and let's get somebody, like me in there who can be there representing the people. There are only two America First, there is only two America First, and you'll low information voters ruined one of them by listening to corrupt politicians who only care about other countries and filling their own pockets with, there's no actual answer there, so I don't know. MTG, Thomas Massie, and Rand Paul, the trifecta. What did I say? The trifectorate? That's not even a word. The trifecta, it seems like. MTG, Thomas Massie, and Rand Paul, now, whether they like it or not, have this coalition together just simply because Donald Trump doesn't like any of them. Although I don't know that Rand Paul and Marjorie Taylor Greene have always seen eye to eye on a lot of different things. I know recently they have, but I don't think they always have. So that's kind of interesting that people are lumping those three Together, none, not even the president, but I don't support liars and pedos. Thank you, Noah. Governor DeSantis, Ted Cruz, says Melanie Straub. That's an interesting one. A little shocked to see Ted Cruz on the list, but I guess, everybody has their favorites. Everybody has a politician that they love. Even Ted Cruz has fans. Think about it that way. This is interesting. Even Ted Cruz has fans. If you've ever thought, man, I want to go into politics, or man, I want to start a social media account, or man, I want to do A, B, C, or D, but I don't think anyone's going to like it. Keep in mind, even Ted Cruz has fans. He has a podcast. People even listen to Ted Cruz. Isn't that amazing? Ron Edge, Veep, Tim Burchett, Senator Kennedy. I could go on and on and on and on. Stephen Miller, does he count? Kind of. Stephen Miller, while not an elected official, is a politician because his job is to politic. He makes policy. He executes policy. His job is to interact with politicians, make deals with politicians. So yes, anybody in the administration would count. Future governor of Arizona, Andy Biggs, Lincoln, Senators John Neely Kennedy and John Fetterman. You're all blind sheep, says Chuck Sisk. Chuck's in the wrong place. I'm also not blind. Tim Burchett, Mike Johnson, John Fetterman. It seems to be like the same 5 or 6. You know what I'm going to do? Oh, we got one for Josh Hawley. It's a decent one. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go through and I'm going to maybe make a list. We're going to have, and by me, I mean ChatGPT. I'm going to copy this list. I'm going to put it into ChatGPT and I'm going to say, rank these in order. It looks like Thomas Massey and MTG are runaways, but John Kennedy is getting a lot. John Kennedy is getting a lot of these. And maybe when we come back from the break sometime, maybe on Monday, I guess, when we're back live, I can do a whole spiel and we'll let you know we'll let you know exactly who is number one, exactly who is the top of the heap and who people are most thankful for. Listen, I got to say, I am just thankful so much for all of you. Everybody here, everybody has just been so incredible. Everybody has been so generous. You guys have been so supportive. Everything we've been through. As we now wrap up, it's been a year and 6 months since this podcast has been, it was July 15th. We went live from the floor of the Republican National Convention. And it was an incredible experience to be back on the air, quote unquote. And now we're at a year and a half. And we've never been this big. We've never had this much support. We've never grown this much. Oh, we got something from, I got a nasty message. I'm going to close my Facebook because now I'm just getting nasty messages. I'm trying to be thankful and someone's writing me the F word 8,000 times. But I'm really thankful for everything that we've been able to accomplish together. And for those of you that listen to the podcast every single day, I appreciate all of you downloading the podcast and listening and supporting us, sharing it with others because, look, we don't do a lot of direct promotion for the podcast, but it continues to grow and it gets bigger and bigger. We now have 2 podcasts. We have Mark Kaye Saves the Republic and we have the 47 Daily every single day. And if you told me, hey, did you know that 18 months after you kicked off your podcast, you'd have 2 of them? I'd say, no, I didn't know that was going to happen at all. But man, things are just going so well. And it's because of all of you. And it's because of the country. And it's because of the elected officials. And it's because you're here every single day learning and being entertained and getting inspired and inspiring me and entertaining me. And so I just want to wish you all a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. I'm not, like I said, we won't be live tomorrow, but there will be content. I won't be live on Friday, but there will be there's always content. There's always something going on. And so I urge you, like I said, to subscribe and pay attention because, if there's one thing I want to make sure of, it's that we are in a 24-hour news cycle. And you cannot miss a beat. And I know that you have difficulty. You're with your families. I know that you're cooking turkeys. I know there's a lot going on. And you don't always have time to stay abreast of the situation. You don't always have time to know exactly what's going on. But I will do my best to pop in any way, digitally, any way that I can, whether it's verbally or with a quick post or whether it's a tweet, whatever it is, to let you know who's coming at you and who's attacking you and who is
a big fat slob.
Yeah, that's my Thanksgiving. That's my Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And JB Pritzker is... Oh no, where did it go? Wait, hold on. I have it right here. Wait, Let me take two on that. Happy Thanksgiving, and JB Pritzker is... Oh no, did I lose it? That's my new favorite clip. Hang on.
A big fat slob.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, that is, I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for all the cha-ching chats. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. And don't forget, just because it's a holiday, we got to stay vigilant. We got to stay prepared. We got to be ready anywhere, anytime, any place to fight, so we can save the Republic. And also, don't forget to get your tickets to the poker tournament, because like I said before, it is going to be amazing and time is ticking. It's a week from tomorrow. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving. A week later, we sold another table. Oh, heck yeah. Look at that. Bravo. We're down to 5 tables. All right, we sold another table. I don't know when we sold it. I don't know if we did it. I don't know what happened. But basically, here's what we got. We got 2 tickets remaining at the VIK table. So if you're interested in playing at the VIK table with me and Hannah and a bunch of others, get one of those 2 remaining tickets because they're going fast. We have 5 tables remaining, which means you can get a full table at a reduced rate. Now, there's tons of other room if you just want like a regular single ticket, but we've had to limit the number of full tables. And the reason we limit the number of full tables is because, well, there's only so much room in the place. And then we have 12 spectator tickets remaining. So if you just want to come and watch, eat the food, drink the drink, yada, 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 then you're good to go. So anyway, that K's Kids, www.kskids.com is where you go for those tickets.